loves. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, Pantry Challenge Day 753. So we already did breakfast, started homeschool, did all the doings that we're doing. So now we're going to do my beef stew. I'm also going to be taking shorts, so y'all are kind of going to get a behind the scenes look at what I do, because I don't have the equipment that I used to have because of our house fire. All my stuff burned down now. I mean, all my stuff. My podcast equipment, everything, and it's so sad, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool, I homemake, I homestead, I farm. So it's literally a one-income house. I just don't have the extra funds right now to get that. As our channel grows, I'll be able to obtain better equipment. But as for right now, my busted phone, yes, that's my screen. It's not a screen protector. It's shattered. My brother-in-law, when my husband was in the hospital last April from his car accident, my brother-in-law came in to see him and knocked my phone off the tray thingy, and it fell, and I was devastated because I'm like, you know, it's not by my fault, so it's just totally cracked. But luckily, the camera part's not, so that's good. Anyway, we went ahead and I got my crock pot all washed. I have a very old crock pot, and I don't care. I don't need nothing new. This crock pot is my favorite. I've had new ones. I've had all different sizes from all different companies, and they're great. I mean, I use them. Don't get me wrong. I use them, and I will always use them. However, this one is my favorite, and it always will be, because this crock pot was my abuela's. So you'll see, like, if you go to our channel about me, where it says Simple Godly Living Homestead, Embracing Grace Farm, and it says a garden of good things, a garden of prayer, garden of hope, you know, this and that. That's where that comes from my abuela's crock pot. It says a garden of good things, and I love this. It's by Rival. It's Rival Crockpot Stoneware Slow Cooker. I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to get one of these unless you get it from, like, a thrift store, an antique store, Goodwill, something like that, because it's old. My abuela was born in 1912, and she lived to be past 100, so she lived a long time, and she died right after my oldest child turned 1. So she's been gone for about 13 years. 12 years. About 11, 12 years. I don't know, something like that. So it's old. Anyway, that's what I already got in. So when you see the short, you'll see that I washed my crock pot liner out, put it back in. We did our dishes from breakfast, and then I went ahead and cut up 2 pounds of, okay, I cut up 2 pounds of my beef stew. I cube it. Like, whenever we butcher or process meat here, I do certain cuts, and then when I get it out of the freezer, thaw it to cook it, then I'll cut, like, smaller or leave it as is. When it comes to any of my beef cubes, I cube it, and then once it's thawed and I go to cook it, I'll cut it into, like, little smaller pieces. But I have 2 pounds of that. You don't need 2 pounds if you're a smaller family, but it takes about 2 to 3 pounds to feed mine. So we already put that in our crock pot. We put some oil in it. Now, this is what I use. So it's my extra virgin olive oil. We went ahead and put that in, and then I put salt, sea salt in it, ground black pepper, and some of my ground turmeric in it, along with the oil, letting that brown. And then next, we're going to add some of my flour and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just bring you along. Little video. It's not going to be too long. I may do it later, but I have the opportunity to take a longer video right now. So I may not be able to make this long, depending. My husband just got home from work and he's out wrangling the goats right now. Our one goat Spot, is it Spot or Stripe? I get them mixed up. Stripe, that's right, it's Stripe, not Spot. Um, Stripe is the older one, and he's having a lot of problems right now. We can't figure out what it is. He seems like he has something wrong with his leg, and he's bound up, like he's not pooping. So my husband's been giving him medicine every day when he gets home from work, and then they're also giving him a shot in his leg. I think it's a penicillin. Don't hold me to that though. Um, but he's got to do it again, and then he's given him a laxative, so hopefully that helps. So he'll be back any minute, and then he is walking up to the mailbox with all our children. That's something that they do every single day, is they walk to the mailbox either with my husband or with me, or most likely with his grandfather, because we help out and take care of his grandparents. So it gets the kids out, fresh air, it gets them exercise, plus it gets his grandfather exercise, and they're together. So they're doing that right now. That's why I have quietness. Other than that, it is not quiet in my house by any means. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit more coffee, and then y'all are going to get a little behind the scenes look at how I do my shorts, which is nothing fancy, but it is what it is. So there's that. But I'll be right back. Oh, Princess, please don't trip me. That's all I need. That's all Mommy needs, is to be tripped to my death. Hey, at least we'll have a video of it, though. To remember my last words. Today is also my bread making day, so we're going to be doing that as well. But I had already started the short earlier when I was cutting up my beef and everything, so I have to actually finish that one before I can start another one. So, actually, let me see where I left off at. Okay, y'all, so I added my beef. I have about 2 pounds. We're going to go ahead and put salt and pepper and then oil. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, so 1 minute. Okay, y'all, so we had our beef in. We did a couple tablespoons of my extra virgin olive oil on top of the beef, and then we went ahead and put sea salt, ground black pepper, and some of my ground turmeric in it. We're going to give it a stir, and then we're going to go ahead and add our flour. What the hell was I doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, it's just one of those days. Actually, I think I put it over here. Yeah, I did. So was my abuela's. It's from Pampered Chef. I have so many wooden spoons, y'all. I love it. I loves it. Okay, y'all, so we're just going to give this a quick stir. Make sure we break it up, because y'all know whenever we go to brown it, it sticks together sometimes. And we don't want none of that. No, we don't. Oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all seen the video that I did of my unboxing Amazon. This is my cami that my husband bought me that came with the little bralette top and shorts. So I have that on, and no, I don't have poofy sleeves. I am not one of those people that like the ridiculous 70s poofy sleeves. However, it comes all the way down, so it's like that. I like the sleeves, but doing dishes, cooking, you know, doing this and that, the sleeves irritate me. So I have it just like this, and then I can easily pull this up. But anyway, this is my one top. This is the hazel blue. So it's like this, and then I have on my light gray pants, and they come up like this. So that's my outfit for today. Nothing fancy smancy, but I love it. It is so soft. Like, seriously, it is the softest. Even after you wash it. That's what I was scared of, y'all. I'm like, look, I'm going to go to wash this, and after I wash it and it comes out of the washer and the dryer, it's not going to be as soft, and I'm going to end up being very upset because I'm very particular about material. Very particular. For one, I am very anal and particular about ingredients that go into my family's bodies, products that we use, detergents, and stuff like that. Plus, I have overly sensitive skin. I've been that way since I was a kid. Like Ivory soap, I cannot go near Ivory soap at all. I will break out in hives. What else is there? Certain fabrics like will break me out really, really bad. I cannot do it. Like wool, I cannot have wool touch me. Now, if it's on the outside, I'm fine, but it cannot directly touch my skin. Um, Not all my children have sensitive skin, but my youngest, she does. She takes after me with certain products, certain things. My oldest, she does okay. My oldest daughter, but she can't, like, hay. Hay used to really bother her. She used to have allergic reaction to hay, which sucks when you have animals. So anytime we would go to the barn, like to the horses and everything, we would have to make sure she didn't touch it. And of course, you try telling a toddler or a little kid that, they don't listen. It was just a lot. But anyway, my point is the material is so... You little girl, you better stop it. The material is so soft. It's like, oh my goodness. It's super soft, even after the wash and dryer. So I'm super excited about that. Anyway, this is my flour. And inside I have just a little teaspoon thing. We're just going to put, I don't know. I don't measure things. That's the thing. I've literally, when I was a toddler, my abuela had me in the kitchen with her. And I have always cooked homemade from scratch. That woman always cooked everything of hers was homemade from scratch. And I'm just so used to doing it that I don't measure. But since having this channel, because we have two channels, I don't know if y'all know that or not. Our first ever channel, we started back pre-COVID. So back in 2019, we started Abiding in God's Grace Ministries. You can find that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all social media platforms. That's... Oh, are you alright? Okay, excuse you. You nasty. Anyway, oh, friddle frat, what was I talking about? Oh, my Lanta. Are you alright, sweetie? What the heck was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay, ministry. So you can find it on all platforms. That's what we initially started our podcast with and everything. Um, but then our house fire happened. We moved to our homestead where we're at now, which was a complete junkyard disaster, fixer-upper. Like, oh. But nonetheless, we made our second channel, which is this, Simple Godly Living Homestead, Embracing Grace Farm. And I totally forget my damn point. Where was I going with this? I'm sorry, y'all. I had a point. I mean, I know I can be a space cadet. My husband likes to say it's my blonde coming out. I'm naturally blonde. Um, but I promise you it's not that. And I'm not tired. Like, I'm fully awake. It's our youngest daughter, her little cat. Yeah, you little terrorist. Instead of naming you Princess, I should have named you Achman from Jeff Durham. Yeah. What the hell was I going to say? I don't know. Anyway, on this channel is all about homesteading, gardening, farming, um, cooking and baking, homemade from scratch, stuff like that. I'm trying so hard to remember my point because I know I was talking about my abuela. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. All right. We recentered. Let's bring it all back. I'm on track. My point was with this channel, I am more conscious of making sure that I check measurements and write it down. For one, I need to be able to remember, like, instead of just eyeballing it, I like to write it down so I can pass that along to my children. Um, but also, in case y'all want recipes, I can't eyeball it for y'all because I'm not going to be there. So that way, y'all want to make anything that I make, you have it. We have a blog. It's on Blogger. I'll try to find the info and put it in the description below. Not the best with that, so don't hold me to it, but I am going to try for y'all. Anyway, but also to leave, for y'all and for my children, I'm going to put all my recipes on there too. I have my recipe book, so that my children will be good, but for anybody else, put it on there. So I try to do that, but I'm also not used to doing it because my abuela was very, oh, you were not, we were never allowed to give out her recipes. If you were not family, you were not getting the recipes. Even if you married into our family, you still weren't getting those recipes. My abuela, my family came over to America. They brought those recipes with them. So those are generational family recipes. And I remember when Padre got married, a few times, yeah, his wives were not allowed to have them. Mm-mm. Which is kind of funny. But every wife he had could not cook, which is pretty ironic. Okay, now this is a teaspoon, so you're just going to want to take a few of them and then sprinkle it over your beef. Y'all think I can make it from here to the crock pot without making a mess? Be one with the spoon. Be one with the spoon. We did it. Whoop, whoop. We did it. Okay. Oh no. And just so y'all know, I do not level it. Y'all don't need to level it. Okay, that time I spilled some sugar. Dos. We'll do three. You are one with the spoon. No, 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 no. And tres. Now go ahead and give that a good stir. Let it thicken up, and then we're gonna add my homemade beef stock. I put a lot more thought and everything into my shorts. However, I just need to wrap this one up. Plus, my phone's at 13%, so I need to wrap it up and get it on the charger. And then, like I said, I don't know. I'm probably going to end this video here in a couple minutes. And then once my husband's done, because I want to know how Spike is doing whenever Stripe. Oh my goodness, I get my animals' names so mixed up half the time. When my husband comes home, I want to be able to know how Stripe is doing, how to take his medicine, because I'm not out there, and that breaks my heart, but I'm busy inside. And then, see if we have any mail from my children and everything. So, but then we're going to come back, we'll do another video, and y'all can hang out with me while we cut up my garden rainbow carrots, which I love. They're so pretty, y'all. Like, they are the most prettiest carrots I've ever seen in my whole life. And then we're going to get all our other vegetables and herbs and seasonings and spices and make us some homemade beef stew. Okay, go ahead and let that stir. Oh, that's hot. Alrighty then.
We're gonna make another pot of coffee.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is sup 1. So basically what I do is, let me move my coffee. Pardon me. Whenever I make the short, I don't post it right away. Sometimes I do, but I found that posting it right away, having to fill out everything, do the hashtags, all that, it takes so much longer, and I'm too busy for that, y'all. I'm too busy for it, and I don't have the patience for it. Like, I'm going to be completely blunt and real. I don't. So I'll leave a note. Like, obviously, when y'all see my shorts, this is not what it says, but I leave myself a note so when I go into my drafts, which I have tons, I'll be like, oh, okay, so this was for breakfast, this was for lunch, or this is homeschooling, or this is that, this, you know, this and that and the third. And then I'll know that this is the first one in my supper series, because almost every single day it's, you know, supper prep, prep and cook, cooking, wrap it up, and then supper. So it depends how many videos I have per thing. So like normally when we do our morning scripture readings, it's anywhere between 1 to 3 shorts that go just with that scripture reading, because it only gives you 3 minutes, and Lord knows I talk fast. I can literally talk a mile a minute. That's one of the best things about being bilingual. Honey, I can out-talk anybody. I would be like the chef's kiss of an auctioneer. But even with that being said, 3 minutes ain't enough to read a whole chapter of scripture. So like this morning, at 4:15 this morning is when I did today's scripture reading, and we did 2 Timothy chapter 3. I read all of that in one short, so like 3 minutes, bam. But they're normally longer than that. Look here, you little terrorist, you better stop tearing that up. I'm gonna tear your rear end up. Don't make me throw my flippin' slipper. Hey, get off of that. No. No, don't you meow. No. You're bad. You are bad. Say hi to everybody. Say, I'm the terrorist. I'm bad. You see yourself? Who's that? Oh, who's that kitty? Who's that kitty? Is that you? Is that you, Stinky Pie? You little stink pot? That's the little terrorist I'm yelling at. All my other animals are primarily good. It's just this little thing. Even our barn cats, outside animals, and livestock is more well behaved than this little thing. She matches our youngest. Our youngest daughter. Let me tell you that, because yeah, they got tons of energy. Like their energy matches perfectly. They're 2 peas in a pod. Anyway, darn it, I lost my train of thought again. What the heck I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, the scripture reading. So normally it goes in like part 1, part 2, and I'll always let y'all know, like in the corner. Actually, I'll just pull one up, might as well, just so y'all can better understand. Alright, let me get one that has parts. Okay, so yesterday, we did 2 Timothy chapter 2. Over here, it says part 1, and underneath it says that we read verses 1 through 16 on this short. Now, if you go up,
Good morning, loves.
this says part 2, and we did from verses 16 to 26. So I'll always let y'all know, like, this is part 1, this is part 2. Plus, in the description, it says, what it is. If there is no part 1, part 2, part 3, that means there's just one short for it. But even like with my suppers, which, I mean, if y'all are viewers that have been with me, then y'all know how I do. You know what I mean? So you already know there's a lot. But I like to make longer videos. It's just, honestly, shorts are easier in a way, but at the same time they're not, because it's so much hassle to sit here and stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Where I just have this recording. Oh wow, we've already been doing 25 minutes and 41 seconds. So yeah, like I can just do my doings and have this record. That's great. But I can't always do that because of what's going around. I don't want my children in the videos like that. So you may hear them talk, you may see them pass by here and there, but you're never going to see a video about my children. I just don't do that. Like, it's my job to protect my children. And at the end of the day, my family comes first. Like my children, my husband, and their well-being, their safety. That's a big thing. My husband isn't big on being on camera, but he don't mind. It's just he's always so busy. So like during spring and summertime and fall, if y'all will see him all the time. If you go back to our early videos, like way back, because I know y'all, there's a lot. He's in a lot of them. In the summertime, spring, once spring comes, y'all, we're out in the garden. So you will see my children here and there, but it'll never be a lone video with them in it. Um, and it'll never be solely about them. That's not what I do. And I try really hard because, when we garden, my children get so excited about their gardens because they each have their own little garden. Plus, they help me. I think they're coming back. So I'm going to have to get ready to end this because they're going to walk through this door and it's going to be loud for one. For two, I don't want all my kids on there. Anyway, they really want a video showing them in their garden, or, oh, look at my potatoes I grew, or look at my squash I grew, or my watermelon. And I want to showcase because they're so proud of that, and so am I. Plus, it's like a memory keeper. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of weirdos out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of weirdos, and there's things that I can't control. When it's something I can control, we're good. Mama's got this. Don't you worry. You best believe. But when it's out of my control, I'm not comfortable with that. So they just came in, so we will do part 2 of this.